My mom found out my income, so she showed up with my spoiled brother and demanded I give her half. Those words are still ringing in my head like a fire alarm that won't shut off. I can still see her standing in my doorway, clutching her designer purse like it was some kind of badge of power. My brother, Tyler, was behind her, chewing gum, wearing his usual smug grin. "You wouldn't even have this house if it weren't for me raising you," she said, stepping inside without waiting for me to invite her. "So, it's only fair you give something back. We need 50,000 now." My chest tightened. 50,000? I stared at her, speechless. Tyler dropped on my couch, pulled out his phone, and turned up the volume on some stupid rap song. "Mom," I said slowly, trying to stay calm, "you can't just barge in here and demand my money." But she just looked at me like I was a child again. "Oh, I can," she said. "Because I'm your mother. And mothers deserve respect and help. Tyler's business failed, and you have plenty to share." That's when I realized it. She didn't come here for a visit. She came to take what I had worked for. And what I did next, well, it changed everything. But before that moment, before that knock on my door that would shake my world, things were completely different. Back then, I was just a quiet guy trying to live a simple life after years of struggle. I wasn't rich, not by the world's standards, but I was finally comfortable. I had worked my way out of debt, bought a small but cozy house in Oregon, and built a successful online business that helped people start side hustles. I never told my family how well I was doing, mostly because growing up, money always made things ugly. See, Mom loved appearances more than people. When I was a kid, she'd rather buy herself a new pair of heels than pay the electric bill. My dad left when I was 12, and from then on, she turned all her love toward my brother, Tyler. He was the golden boy, captain of the basketball team, the future millionaire. Meanwhile, I was the quiet one who got used to hearing, "Why can't you be more like your brother?" Funny how life flips the script. When I moved out at 19, Mom barely said goodbye. I started working odd jobs, pizza delivery, warehouse shifts, cleaning offices at night, anything to stay afloat. Tyler, on the other hand, stayed home, partied, and bragged about his plans. Those plans never turned into anything, except him needing more money. And Mom always gave it to him, even if it meant selling furniture or begging family members. By the time I was 27, I'd had enough of being the family ghost. I stopped calling. I stopped visiting. I focused on myself. I worked hard, saved every penny, and slowly started building something online. It started with a blog, then digital courses, then YouTube videos. People loved my story, how a broke kid could build a new life through hard work. Within 3 years, I was making more money in a month than my mom made in a year. But I didn't tell her that. I kept living like I was still the same old Jake, driving my 10-year-old car, wearing plain shirts, staying off social media. I thought if I stayed quiet, she'd never come looking. But then, somehow, she found out. It started one afternoon when my phone buzzed with a text from her, after nearly a year of silence. "Mom. Hey, sweetheart, red heart, I heard you're doing so well these days. Tyler says you're a big businessman now," smiling face with hard eyes. My stomach sank. Tyler. Of course. He probably stumbled across one of my videos or bragged about me to someone online. I didn't respond. For days, I ignored her messages. But they kept coming. "Mom. We should all get together soon. Mom. I miss you, crying face, let's do a family dinner. Mom. Tyler's going through a tough time. Maybe you can give him some advice or a little help." I tried to shake it off. Maybe she just wanted to reconnect. Maybe she'd changed. But deep down, I knew better. Then came the night before everything exploded. It was raining hard, thunder rumbling in the distance. I'd just finished recording a video about financial freedom when I got another text, this time from an unknown number. Unknown. "You think you're too good for your own family now." I froze. The tone was sharp, bitter. I knew that voice even without hearing it.
"Tyler."
"Me? Tyler?" "Unknown. You got rich and forgot who helped raise you. Pathetic." I didn't reply. I turned off my phone, trying not to let the anger eat me alive. I didn't owe them anything. They never helped me when I needed it. When I was hungry, scared, and alone, no one came. I built this life myself. The next morning, I woke up early to make coffee. It was peaceful. Birds outside, the smell of rain still in the air. I thought maybe the storm had passed, until I heard that knock.
Loud.
Sharp. When I opened the door, there they were, Mom in her fancy coat, Tyler behind her wearing sunglasses inside like some wannabe celebrity. "Surprise," she said brightly, though her eyes held something else. I blinked, still half asleep. "Mom? Tyler? What are you doing here?" "We were in the neighborhood," she said. "Thought we'd drop by. Families should stay close, right?" But I noticed the suitcase in her hand. And the look Tyler gave me, it wasn't warmth. It was calculation. They walked right in like they owned the place. I stood there, stunned. My peaceful life, the one I had worked years to build, was suddenly invaded. Mom wandered around, touching the furniture, commenting on everything. "Nice house," she said. "Very expensive looking." Tyler whistled. "Man, Jake, this is how you've been living? No wonder you ghosted us." I tried to smile, to keep things civil. "Can I get you guys some coffee?" Mom didn't answer. Instead, she sat down at the table, folded her hands, and said, "We need to talk." That's when my heart dropped. Because every time she said that growing up, it meant one thing: trouble. She leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "I know what you make, Jake." The room went silent. My stomach twisted. "I saw your YouTube video," she continued, her voice dripping with accusation. "500,000 subscribers. You're helping people make money? How much are you making, exactly?" I didn't answer. Tyler laughed. "Come on, bro, don't act all humble now. We saw the car in the driveway. You're loaded." Then she said it, the line that would burn into my memory forever. "You wouldn't even have this life if it weren't for me raising you," she said coldly. "So, it's only fair you give something back. Tyler's business failed, and we need 50,000. Today." 50,000. My heart pounded so hard I thought it might break through my chest. She smiled, as if she was asking for a cup of sugar, not my savings. I looked from her to Tyler, who just shrugged, like it was no big deal, and back to her. They thought I'd just hand it over. That's when something inside me snapped. I stood up slowly, staring at them both, and said, "I think you both should leave." That's what I told them. Calmly. Clearly. My voice didn't even shake, but inside, I was boiling. Mom blinked, like I had just spoken another language. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," I said. "You can't just show up here, insult me, and demand $50,000. This isn't a bank." Tyler laughed, that same arrogant snort he'd used our whole lives when he thought he had the upper hand. "Man, relax. It's family. You're really gonna act brand new just because you got some money now." "Yeah," Mom added sharply. "Don't forget who gave birth to you. I spent years feeding you, clothing you, raising you by myself while your father walked out. The least you can do is help your family when we're struggling." Her voice was rising, and I could see the old manipulation returning, the guilt trip, the emotional daggers she used to control me when I was a kid. But I wasn't that scared boy anymore. I stood there quietly for a second, then said, "You didn't raise me. You tolerated me. You spoiled Tyler and left me to figure everything out on my own. Every meal I ate, I earned. Every dollar I have now, I built from scratch. You don't get to walk in here and claim it." The air went heavy. Even Tyler stopped smirking. Mom's eyes hardened. "So that's how it is? You think you're better than us now?" I didn't answer. She slammed her hand on the table. "You're selfish. After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me? Fine. Keep your precious money. But don't expect us to be there when you fall." She stood, grabbing her purse. Tyler got up, muttering something under his breath. I thought that was the end of it, that they'd storm out and never come back. But then Mom turned at the door, her face tight with something I hadn't seen before. Not anger, but a promise. "You'll regret this, Jake," she said. "One day soon, you'll wish you'd helped your family." Then they left. The door slammed. My chest hurt, but not from guilt, from relief. For the first time, I'd stood my ground. Still, the silence that followed felt strange. Empty. I tried to distract myself by cleaning up, then spent the evening answering business emails, but I couldn't focus. My mind replayed her words. "You'll regret this." I brushed it off as emotional drama. But I should have known better. Because 3 days later, my life started to unravel. It began with an email from my bank. "Suspicious withdrawal attempt detected." I frowned and called immediately. The representative told me someone had tried to transfer $7,000 from my account online, but failed the verification check. "How did they even get my info?" I asked. The rep said, "It seems someone used your old home address to reset your account. Do you know anyone who might have access to that?" My old home address. My mom's house. My blood ran cold. I hung up and sat there in silence. No way. She wouldn't do that, right? But then I remembered how she looked at my house, the greed in her eyes, and Tyler's smirk. The next morning, I changed all my passwords, locked down my accounts, and froze my credit. It felt paranoid, but something in my gut told me I wasn't overreacting. That night, my phone buzzed again. This time it was a video message from Tyler. He was in his room, laughing into the camera. "Yo, Jake, just a heads up. Mom says you're being dramatic. But hey, nice car, man. Hope nothing happens to it." The screen went black. My stomach dropped. I ran to the window, my heart hammering. The driveway was dark, but my car was still there. I barely slept that night. Every sound made me jump. By morning, I decided to install security cameras. It felt like something out of a bad movie, but I wasn't taking chances. I just wanted to move on, focus on work, and forget the chaos. For a few weeks, everything went back to normal. I worked, exercised, cooked simple meals, and ignored every message from Mom or Tyler. Until one Sunday afternoon, the day that would flip everything upside down again. I was in my living room editing a video when I heard tires screeching outside. Then came shouting. I peeked through the blinds and froze. Mom's car, Tyler's voice, and behind them, a moving truck. My heart stopped. They were unloading boxes. I opened the door. "What are you doing here?" Mom smiled like she was on vacation. "Oh, sweetheart. We decided to stay for a while. You've got so much space here, and family should be together." I blinked in disbelief. "You what?" "We're moving in," Tyler said casually, carrying a suitcase past me. I stepped in front of him. "No, you're not." Mom's smile vanished. "Jake, we already talked about this. We're family. You've got money, you've got a house, why not share it? You think you're too good for us." I could feel my blood boiling. "You can't just move into my house without asking." She crossed her arms. "Well, I just did." I looked around. Tyler was already dropping his bag on the couch, his shoes on my rug. That's when I lost it. "Out. Now." Mom glared at me, her voice sharp and cold. "You throw your family out, and everyone will know what kind of person you really are." I stepped closer. "I'm not scared of you anymore." We stared at each other in silence, years of resentment filling the space between us. Then she smiled, a slow, knowing smile. "Fine," she said. "If that's how you want to play it." She reached into her purse, pulled out her phone, and started recording. "This is my ungrateful son," she said into the camera, her voice trembling with fake tears. "He's kicking his own mother out after everything I've done for him." I froze. Tyler grinned behind her. "This is gonna blow up online, bro." My mind raced. If she posted that, it would ruin me. My business, my reputation, gone. People would see a crying mother and a cold-hearted son. She lowered the phone slightly, smirking. "Unless, of course, you change your mind about that money." My hands trembled. I could barely breathe. That was the moment I realized. This wasn't just about greed. It was revenge. She wanted to destroy me for saying no. But she had no idea. She had just started a war she couldn't win. I stood there frozen, my mind spinning as Mom kept her phone aimed at me like it was a weapon. The fake tears, the trembling voice. She knew exactly what she was doing. "This is my ungrateful son," she repeated, tilting the phone to catch my face in the frame. I sacrificed everything for him, and now he's kicking his poor mother and brother out into the street. Mom, I said slowly, trying to keep calm. Turn off the camera. Tyler laughed behind her.
Why?
The world deserves to see who you really are. I felt my throat tighten. I wanted to scream, to grab the phone out of her hand, but I knew that's exactly what she wanted, a reaction. Fine, I said quietly. If you want to post lies, go ahead. Just remember, lies have consequences. Mom blinked, surprised I wasn't shouting. She lowered the phone a little, confused by my calmness. I stepped back. You can both stay here tonight. Just one night. But tomorrow morning you're gone. Tyler smirked. Oh, we'll see about that. They made themselves comfortable like they owned the place. Tyler took the guest room, and Mom helped herself to my kitchen, humming like nothing had happened. I went to my office and locked the door behind me, shaking with anger. I knew they weren't leaving on their own. That night, I barely slept. Every sound in the house made me tense. Around midnight, I heard Tyler on the phone laughing with someone, probably bragging about how he was living large at his brother's place. At one point, I heard drawers opening. I sat up, listening. The sound came from my office. I tiptoed down the hall and peeked through the door crack. Tyler was inside, rummaging through my desk. He was going through my files. I pushed the door open. What are you doing? He jumped, startled, then rolled his eyes. Relax, man. Just looking for a pen. In my locked office? He shrugged, smirking. Didn't seem locked to me. I walked in, heart pounding. He was lying. I could see one of my bank envelopes half sticking out from under the drawer. Get out, I said. He laughed again, but this time there was something darker in his eyes. You think you're untouchable now, huh? You got lucky. Don't forget where you came from. I haven't forgotten, I said through clenched teeth. Now leave. He walked out, slow and cocky, brushing my shoulder on purpose as he passed. I locked the door again. The next morning, I woke up to a smell: eggs, bacon, toast. Mom was cooking in the kitchen, like old times, humming softly. Morning, sweetheart, she said brightly, as if nothing had happened. I thought we could start fresh. Breakfast fixes everything, right? I didn't answer. Tyler was on the couch, scrolling through his phone. You got any plans today, bro? I was thinking we could check out that new car dealership downtown. Why? I asked flatly. He grinned. You said you wanted to help me get back on my feet. Maybe a new car would help me get my business going again. I never said that. Mom sighed dramatically. Jake, don't be difficult. Tyler just needs a little support. He's your brother. I stared at both of them, the same two people who had ignored me when I was hungry, mocked me when I failed, and now thought they could manipulate me with guilt. Something snapped inside me. I set my coffee cup down slowly and said, Mom, Tyler, you have 2 hours to pack and leave my house. Mom froze. Excuse me? You heard me. Tyler sat up. You serious? Very. Mom's tone changed instantly. You ungrateful child. After all I've done for you. Stop, I said sharply. You didn't do anything for me except make me feel small. I begged you for help when I was broke and sick, and you said I was a disappointment. I made it on my own. You don't get to take credit now. Her face twisted. Don't talk to me like that. Then respect my home, I said firmly. Pack your things. Now. She glared at me for a long time, but I didn't move. Finally, she huffed and stormed off to the guest room. Tyler followed her, muttering under his breath. For the next hour, I sat in silence, staring out the window. My heart was heavy, but I felt free. For once, I had stood up for myself completely. But then I heard shouting from the guest room. Mom, where's my wallet? Tyler yelled. Check your bag, she shouted back. A few seconds later, the shouting turned into slamming doors, then heavy footsteps down the hall. Tyler came out red-faced, holding his phone. You think you're smart, huh? You think you can kick us out and get away with it? I frowned. What are you talking about? You blocked Mom's bank card last night. She can't withdraw money. I blinked. What? I didn't touch her card. He stepped closer, his voice low and threatening. "Don't lie to me, Jake. We know how you play your little tech games." Before I could respond, Mom appeared behind him, holding her purse tight. "He's right," she said coldly. "You've changed. You're cruel. You think your money makes you better than us." I sighed. I didn't block anything. Maybe the bank froze it for security reasons. "Oh, please," Tyler sneered. "You're just trying to control us like you control your stupid business." That was it.
"Get out."
Mom opened her mouth to protest, but I pointed to the door.
"Now."
Tyler kicked the wall on his way out. "You'll regret this, man. You'll see what happens when you turn your back on family." Mom gave me one last icy stare. "You're dead to me." Then they were gone. The silence that followed felt like peace. Real peace. I locked the door and sank onto the couch, exhausted but relieved. I thought it was over. But the next morning, I woke up to my phone buzzing nonstop. Hundreds of notifications.
Comments.
Messages.
Tags.
My stomach dropped when I saw the headlines. Heartless son kicks out his poor mother after getting rich. Viral video shows man throwing his family out of his house. It was everywhere: Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Mom had posted the video. Millions of views. My name. My face. My house. The internet had decided I was the villain. Sponsors started calling to pause partnerships. Subscribers dropped. Hate comments flooded my inbox. And right when I thought it couldn't get worse, someone threw a brick through my window that night. A note was tied to it. "Help your MOM, you monster." That's when I realized my own family had started a war. And I wasn't going to lose. That night, I sat in the dark, staring at the shattered glass scattered across my living room floor. The note lay crumpled in my hand, the words burning into my mind. "Help your you monster." My heart was pounding, but not from fear anymore. It was from anger, deep, cold anger. They had dragged my name through the dirt, destroyed my business, and turned the world against me. All because I said no. I called the police. They came, took a report, and left. "Probably a prank," one officer said, glancing at the mess. "Just fix the window and be careful online." But I knew this wasn't some random prank. This was calculated. By morning, things had gotten worse. My business email was flooded, people canceling subscriptions, refund requests pouring in. Someone had even hacked my website and replaced my homepage with a photo of my mom crying, captioned, "He abandoned his family for fame." That's when it hit me, Tyler. He had always been good with tech. Not in a genius way, but enough to cause damage. I spent hours fixing what I could, restoring backups, resetting passwords, and trying to explain the truth online. But no one cared. The internet didn't want the truth. It wanted drama. Mom had played her role perfectly, the heartbroken mother. Tyler was her loyal son, defending her from the cold-hearted brother.
Me?
I was the villain in their fairy tale. For a week, I barely ate. My phone buzzed nonstop. My subscribers dropped from 500,000 to 200,000. Companies canceled sponsorships. My inbox filled with hate. I thought about quitting. I thought about deleting everything, disappearing. But then one night, as I sat alone at my desk, something changed. I saw a message. It was from someone named Clara Wilson. "Jake, I saw your mom's video. I also saw your old videos, the ones where you helped small creators like me start our own businesses. I don't believe her. I've been there. I know what family manipulation looks like. Please don't stop doing good because of this." I stared at the message for a long time. Then another came. "Hey Jake, your mom's video doesn't add up. I noticed some editing cuts. I think she spliced your words. If you want, I can help prove it." And another. "Stay strong, bro. Some of us see the truth." That's when I realized people weren't all blind.
There were still some who believed in me.
And that was enough to light the spark again. I spent the next few days quietly gathering everything. Screenshots of my texts with Mom and Tyler, recordings from my home security cameras, bank statements showing the failed withdrawal attempts, even old messages where they mocked me for being broke. Piece by piece, I built the real story. Then I made a video. I titled it, The Truth About My Family. The thumbnail was simple, just me sitting at my kitchen table. No dramatic music, no clickbait. When I pressed record, my hands shook. But once I started speaking, the words came naturally. I didn't want to make this video, I began. But when people lie about you, and the world believes them, silence becomes a prison. I explained everything, how my mom and brother had shown up uninvited, demanded money, threatened to ruin me. I played clips from the security camera that caught parts of their argument. I showed the messages. Then I said, quietly but firmly, family isn't about blood. It's about respect. And if someone uses love to control or destroy you, you have every right to walk away. I ended with a small smile. To everyone who's been hurt by the people meant to protect you, you're not alone. You can still choose kindness without being a doormat. When I uploaded it, I didn't expect much. Maybe a few thousand views. Maybe some sympathy. But within hours, it exploded. People started comparing my video to my mom's, noticing the inconsistencies, the obvious edits, the manipulation. Then one viewer, a digital forensics expert, uploaded a breakdown showing that my mom's viral video had been doctored, key parts cut, my words rearranged. The truth started spreading faster than the lies ever did. Within 2 days, hashtags like Justice for Jake and Family Manipulation Awareness began trending. The tide had turned. Mom and Tyler went silent. The accounts they used to post their videos were suddenly deleted. But it was too late. Their reputation had already started to crumble. People found out about their past, the scams Tyler had pulled, the unpaid debts. My sponsors returned. Subscribers flooded back, this time stronger than ever. My inbox filled with thank you messages from people sharing their own stories of toxic family abuse. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel ashamed of my past. I felt free. But the real revenge? That came a few weeks later. I was sitting on my porch one sunny afternoon when a car pulled up. It was Mom. Alone. She stepped out slowly, looking older than I remembered. Her face was pale, her eyes sunken. "Jake," she said quietly. "Can we talk?" I didn't answer. She walked closer, wringing her hands. I didn't mean for it to go that far. Tyler convinced me. He said we could teach you a lesson, but things got out of control. I stared at her, silent. "I lost everything," she continued. "My friends won't talk to me. People at church call me a liar. Tyler's gone, he moved to another state." She looked up, tears in her eyes. I just want my son back." My chest tightened. For a moment, I almost believed her. Then I remembered the brick. The sleepless nights. The lies. "Mom," I said softly, "you didn't lose me. You threw me away." Her face crumpled. "Please, Jake, I'm sorry." I took a deep breath. "I forgive you," I said quietly. "But forgiveness doesn't mean access." Her eyes widened. "You can go," I added gently. "I hope you find peace. But you're not welcome here anymore." She opened her mouth to speak, then closed it again. Slowly, she turned and walked back to her car. As she drove off, I felt something lift off my shoulders. Years of guilt, pain, and fear. For the first time, I wasn't the scared boy trying to earn love. I was the man who had built his own peace, brick by brick, out of the chaos they left behind. And I wasn't going to let anyone take it from me again. 6 months later, everything had changed. My channel had grown bigger than ever, now focused not just on business, but on emotional healing, stories about self-worth, forgiveness, and boundaries. The messages I got were powerful. "Your story gave me courage to walk away from my toxic parents. Thank you for showing that success doesn't mean forgetting where you came from. It means not letting the past control you." One afternoon, as I was recording a new video, I saw an envelope on my doorstep. No name, no return address. Inside was a photo, me and Mom from years ago. I was 12, holding a trophy from a science fair. She had her arm around me, smiling. On the back, in her handwriting, were 5 words. "I'm proud of you, Jake." I stood there for a long time, staring at the photo. I didn't cry. I didn't smile. I just felt peace. Because revenge isn't always about making others pay. Sometimes it's about proving to yourself that you can rise without sinking to their level. And that's exactly what I did. The boy who was never enough became the man who finally was.